Hello and welcome to the Kate and Eric Show here, brought to you by Freedom and Common Sense. So first, I'd like to start off by thanking all of those that have listened thus far, all the new listeners and the continuing listeners here. The website that I go through to do all this here, it shows me where you are. It shows me where everybody is that listens to the show. So thank you very much. We are up to two countries now. Of course, the United States of America here, and we have someone in Asia, specifically Malaysia. Now, so the Kate and Eric Show is now international. The international show of the Kate and Eric Show. So thank you very much to Malaysia. And the city, I'm going to probably butcher this. It is Pedaling Ja is I believe the name of this city. And I don't know if they have states, so I apologize, Malaysia. Out in there in Selangor. Selangor. There you go. So thank you very much. We are now international. I appreciate it. Of course, one thing I have not done that I've thought about doing here is maybe go through every city. Of course, we have here Texas, DFW area, Fort Worth, and Dallas. So thank you to everybody. I mean, I'll just do everybody. Thank you very quickly here. Highland Ranch, Colorado, Salt Lake City, Utah, Justin, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, Grand Prairie, Texas, Euless, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Arlington, Texas, Orinoco, Minnesota, Layton, Utah, McKinney, Texas, Houston, Texas, big in Texas if you can't tell, San Francisco, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, Rochester, Minnesota, Keller, Texas, North Bend, Washington, Hudson, New Hampshire, Los Angeles, California, St. George, Utah, and State College, home of Penn State, Pennsylvania, Idaho Falls, Idaho, West Valley City, Utah. I'm going to not say this right, but Mezpa, Minnesota, Lancaster, California, Strasburg, Colorado, Tooele, Utah, Prosper, Texas, Midvale, Utah, and then to round us off here, we have Belton, Texas. So thank you very much to everybody who listens, and keep it going. Let's get more cities. Let's get more people listening. So I really appreciate it. And of course, let's start off with some sports. We'll do a little sports here, and kind of a sad day for the this last week here. Because I do this show once a week. It's kind of sad for the Oakland Athletics. Being a Houston Astros fan, I'm not a big fan of the Oakland A's due to the fact of their team's involvement in the sign stealing thing. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered what team Mike Fiers would have been on, who was the everybody calls him the rat. I mean, if the sign stealing thing was so bad, why did you say something during the years that was happening instead of 2 years afterwards when you were getting rocked by our batters after you left the Houston Astros? So I don't understand that. Anyway, but I feel, being of course, we're division rivals here, the Houston Astros and the Oakland Athletics. So I do feel really bad in the state of their team. I would say I would blame the managers, not the team manager necessarily, but the owner, the front office there, and because of the state. I mean, they trade away all their good players. You trade away your good players, people aren't going to come watch them lose every night. So what the A's fans did, which I thought was really cool for them, is they did what's called a reverse boycott, and they had just about 28,000 come to their to the game. I think it was last week, a couple of weeks ago, because normally they have like a third of that. It's really sad. It's really bad. I mean, the historic franchise of the Oakland A's, winning 3 World Series during the 70s, having Ricky Henderson there. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. How amazing and what a great baseball city that historically baseball city that is. Not right so much now because I mean, what are you going to do? You trade all your good players, and then it's just kind of sad. So, and then the people that came to and they did well. They showed up well. They did it. They all had shirts, T-shirts, and signs that said "Sell the team." Basically, they wanted the owners to sell the team to keep the team in Oakland. They do not want the team to go down to Las Vegas. I don't blame them. I think it would be kind of tragic to have Oakland leave. The A's leave Oakland and go to Las Vegas. I mean, they already lost the Raiders to them. It's just kind of sad. So, that's kind of update for them. So I hope the boycott works. I hope Major League Baseball sees that Oakland really does want the baseball team there and can do something to have them do better. I don't know what to do, but every other sport is done right now. We have the NCAA World Series going on up in Omaha, Nebraska, and it features Florida, TCU, LSU. I cannot remember the fourth one right now off the top of my head. Anyway, there's a fourth team, and I cannot remember. I looked it up on ESPN yesterday, but anyway, I don't know. I can't remember. So that's going on right now. The Astros are kind of struggling during the month of June, although they just did beat the Mets today in a kind of a shootout, 10-8. So that was pretty great. At least they won that. Series against the Mets. The Astros did beat out Justin Verlander. He pitched against us last night. And Framber Valdez did end up beating him. So we beat our old ace Cy Young winner there. So it was kind of sad. He got his ring, and so that was kind of nice for him. And then not so good news. The Los Angeles Dodgers held their Pride Night on, I believe it was the 16th, and of course they honored the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. I wanted to say a whole bunch of things, but we're trying to keep this as family friendly as we possibly can. So there was probably to be honest, realistic, there was probably like 100 people at the beginning of the start of the game, and there was a bunch of we'll have you listen here. And I have posted I think most of this stuff here on my Facebook page, the Caden Eric Show, on Facebook, as well as Twitter and Truth Social, Caden Eric Show on both Twitter and Truth Social. So let me see here we go. All right, here is the team honored. The Dodgers are going to go down as this anti-Christian, anti-Catholic group because that's just how they're going to go down from now on. That's how they're going to be known. And, my dislike of the Los Angeles Dodgers because of the 17 World Series, I've been following the Giants because my family's from there. So that was, it's just, I do not like the Los Angeles Dodgers one little bit. So I apologize to LA for my listeners in LA, but your team's got to do better. I mean, this was just ridiculous. So here is them honoring this team. So here's a little bit of audio. Let's see. Here we go. Listen to that. They're getting booed because people don't want them there. Los Angeles Dodgers, they do not want them there. In front of 100 people, if that. So it was pretty sad. It was, what a great historic team, Los Angeles Dodgers, and then they go and do this, just insanity. So, and it didn't really turn out really well for them either. They got their freaking asses kicked by the Giants during those 3 games. The first game, the night that they had them there was 7-5 in favor of the Giants. Then they got absolutely obliterated the next night, 15-0, and then rounded out with another 7-3 loss. So being outscored by the Giants 29-8 in 3 games. So people have said, is that a sign? Maybe is that a sign that you should not mock God? Because what they do is absolutely horrendous. There's videos online going around where they are. One guy is on a cross, and then there's another guy who is pole dancing with this supposed Jesus on a cross. It's just absolutely blasphemous, absolutely horrendous. It's extremely offensive, but yes, yet the Los Angeles Dodgers have they decided to go through with it. They decided to honor these scumbags, and I hope they obviously, the sign is that they lost. But good thing in the there were thousands of Christians outside of the stadium, and one thing that the right does that the left, or the one thing that the right does not that the left does, is we do not riot, we do not destroy, we do not kill. Okay, that is one thing the right does not do that the left always does. And there were thousands of Christians. They were praying. There was things about Jesus. There were preachers out there preaching, and it was a great protest of the Dodgers. Prayers, scripture said, it was just amazing. The protests, and peaceful, absolutely peaceful. There was not one thing that happened. Nobody was attacked. There was no burning. There was no destruction. It was just, we're not going to put up with this crap from the Dodgers, and they made their voices heard, and it was great, absolutely great. Because people were just kind of sick. We're sick and tired of this anti-Christian, this agenda being shoved down our faces, and just to kind of go along with that this whole alphabet soup agenda thing has just gone way out of control. There is a congressman in Nebraska that just absolutely loses her mind. I'm trying to find the video. Where the heck did I put it? There's just, doing the show prep for the show, there's just so much that they could do this forever. Oh, here she is. It's about a 3-minute video. I'm not going to play the whole thing, just kind of give you the juicy parts, so hang on.
Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. That's what they're saying out there. They're standing in a circle in the rotunda saying that
That's precious. That's
over
awesome.
and over again.
Over there, precious.
Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people.
Need them for
Trans
what?
people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people.
Okay, I'm going to pause it here because that's all she says is this whole thing. And, she starts off calm and nice and collective and whatever else. But this is kind of what she goes on later. I'll fast forward here a little bit.
We love
There you
trans
go.
people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here.
Let me
We
fast
love
forward. Let
We
me
need
get to the
trans
end.
people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. You matter. You matter. And I am fighting for you. And I will not stop. I will not stop today. I will not stop tomorrow. You are loved. You matter. You belong here. Trans.
So, there you go. She absolutely loses her mind and screaming, I like to know, what do we need trans people for? I mean, of course, obviously, you love everybody. That's, as Christians, that's what do we do? Or just any good person, obviously you love everybody, but what do we need trans people for? But that's what I'd kind of like to know. And this agenda is just, they lose their absolutely loving mind.
Yes, because they have to push their agenda. They have to win the trans people. Yes, we do.
That's what she should have sounded like. So yeah, there's that. But also some good news is that there are Christians marching across the world here in major cities, and if you have not heard about it in the fake news media or anywhere else, I would not be surprised. But they had a big march in Seattle, Paris, France. They held signs. Let me play a little audio of that here. I think this is great. Let me turn it down a little bit. So, and they're all young people doing this. So that was Seattle. They hold signs that Jesus is king. Jesus is, it's just amazing. And they're all, younger generation. Not a bunch of old white people doing it. There's people from all colors. And then it's just great. So we got some, we're standing up. It is a fight against good versus evil here in the world. And now people are going to say, well, you're just saying that all gays and lesbians, they're evil people. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying at all. And I've said this in other episodes, that if that's what you want to do, that's your choice. Go ahead. Nobody cares. Just do, whatever you're going to do in the privacy of your own home. Nobody cares. Just stop pushing it in our face and making it look like a foreign occupation with your flags all over the place. Because people are just tired of it. So, and then in other news here, we had the president of the United States, Joseph Biden. He says he was in Connecticut. He was talking about guns, and he kind of lost his marbles there a little bit. So there are. I'll have you listen to what he had to say. This was his own words here, and he just about doesn't quite get the speech out here, and he's yelling at everybody. But of course, talking about guns. The guns are the number one killer of children, and blah 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 blah. Which is it's not true, because if you take the statistics of what they skew the statistics, and they take out infant deaths, which if you put the infant deaths from 0 to 1, if you put the deaths of those by let me pull this up here, hang on, if you pull or if you count the deaths of infants, that is just it's not true that guns are the number one killers of children, because that would be abortion. Unfortunately, we're still doing that. But if you take, where is it? There's a whole bunch of medical, and I cannot find it now. Why can't I find it? I just had it. Oh, dang it. Anyway, there's abnormalities and just different, medical conditions that that skew the numbers, and they take that out, conveniently to push their anti-gun agenda, because it's about taking our rights away. It's not about protecting anybody. So let's have you listen to his wonderful words here in Connecticut over the week.
This year,
But, hold on. There we go.
need states to act as well. Less than 2 weeks ago here in Connecticut, Governor Lamont signed a bipartisan legislation with more than a dozen measures to improve gun safety, from prohibiting open carry and strengthening the ban on assault weapons and ghost guns. Illinois, Washington State passed assault weapons bans this year, bringing the total to 10 states.
Woo! Taking our rights
Michigan,
away.
Minnesota, Colorado, Vermont passed legislation establishing or strengthening the red flag laws.
Strengthening.
Since 2021, 7 states have passed an increase in accountability for the gun industry. And we need.
Okay, so if you want to go that route, they want to put blame on the gun industry, and the evil NRA. So then, why don't you go after the car industry for all the auto accidents or whatever? Put insert X, insert whatever it is for all those deaths. Medical malpractice. Why don't we blame the hospital systems for all that? I mean, it's just insanity. It's just plain stupidity to blame an inanimate object and try to get that. See, you listen to him, and he can't speak when you listen to him. So here we go, and that this is one of his quotes from that same speech, and nobody has any idea what it means.
Say hi to all of you. They tell me. Now, as some of you know, I'd usually come down and say hi to all of you. They tell me there's a storm coming in. Is that right? Is that still the deal? That's the truth. Now, don't make a lie. As that scene in the John Wayne movie, don't make me a dog-faced lion pony soldier.
What? All right. Well, there's that lovely quote that nobody has any idea what he's talking about. I've seen a lot of John Wayne movies. There was a patient of mine that loved John Wayne, and I've never heard that phrase before uttered by John Wayne. So good luck with that. So here is more of his lovely speech. Apologize for the music but it's a video that I found. So here's part of here's more of his speech.
News that make the headlines, but every single day, every damn day in America, and in most cities, down in Philadelphia and New York, areas I know well, like up here, you'd see a truck pull to the curb and selling weapons, selling guns, selling AR-15, selling weapons, all right?
So there's another part of this I'm going to get to later, but what in the heck is he talking about? Where are all these trucks coming from that are selling guns, selling ARs? You just pull. Is this like the like the ice cream man, where there's a gun noise that's just sounding off as they're driving down the road here in their trucks with their AR-15, selling their weapons. I mean, is that what's going on? Is that the ice cream man? But he's selling ARs and other weapons. When has that ever occurred here in the United States of America? I mean, seriously, who is this guy? I mean, he just makes crap up. Just plain and simple, just makes crap up right out of his freaking face there. And then at the end of that speech, he had a lovely little slip there that still nobody has any idea what the heck he's talking about. So here's I think the end of his speech.
I speak with the President of Mexico. Will you stop sending guns to us? We are sending dangerous weapons, particularly assault weapons, to Mexico. To Mexico.
We're sending them to Ukraine.
They're asking us, please stop it.
So what's the difference?
Cut it off at the border. What in God's name are we becoming if we don't do this? Now, some of you know, I'd usually come down and say hi to all of you. They tell me there's a storm coming in. Is that right? Is that still the deal? That's the truth. Now, don't make a lie.
Oh, we have to listen to this again. Sorry.
As that scene in the John Wayne movie, don't make me a dog-faced lion pony soldier. All right? God save the Queen, man.
Wait. What? Hold on.
In the John Wayne movie, don't make me a dog-faced lion pony soldier. All right? God save the Queen, man.
Wait, what? Wait, God save the Queen, man. That's the end. Then he goes off and he's like, like you're running down the street. He's wiggling his arms fast, pretending he's mobile and he knows how to walk. But God save the Queen, man. Is he talking about Camilla? Because Charles just became the king. So is that who he's talking about? And she's not really the queen. So, who is he talking about? Does he not realize that Queen Elizabeth has been dead now for a while? Is that what's going on with him? Did he forget? Did he forget that the Queen of England? Or is he just so freaking out of it that he doesn't have any idea what's going on and no idea what is going on around the world? So maybe he does think that the Queen Elizabeth is still alive, but she isn't. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. That's our lovely President of the United States in his speech in Connecticut, blabbing about how awful guns are. And, like I said, I've said this before, but my guns are the laziest guns in the world. I mean, they're there. They can get out if they want to, but they don't do anything, man. They don't do anything. Not a joke. Not a joke. That's another one. His favorite thing to say is not a joke. So yeah, he's great, isn't he? The United States president, man. So, and then also some kind of tragic news there. Part of I-95 collapsed there in the Philadelphia area. So it's kind of sad. I don't think anybody was injured, but there was a truck fire and part of the freeway collapsed. So you've got him, and then you've got John Fetterman, who is a newly elected. I use that in the loosest sort of term. I don't know, Pennsylvania. What is the deal with you guys, man? I mean, come on. What are you doing electing this guy to the U.S. Senate? Crying out loud. So there was Joe Biden came and spent some time with Fetterman, which Joe Biden has yet to go to Palestine, Ohio, where that train derailed and all that toxic chemicals happened. I believe that was February, March, one of the two. He hasn't gone up there, hasn't seen that. He has not been to the southern border and seen the crap show that's going on down here. But no, he goes to Pennsylvania and spends time with Fetterman. Now, John Fetterman, I believe I said this before, he had a massive stroke, and my full-time job is in healthcare, and I have dealt with many patients who have had strokes, and they have absolutely no business being a United States senator, and neither does this guy. It's sad what has happened to him, and I feel really bad that he has been put in this position, but he needs to go home and just rest because it's really bad. And the other thing, he doesn't have a suit. He doesn't dress in a suit. He dresses in Carhartt hoodies, like gym shorts and tennis shoes. So there's him, and I was going to play a video of him coming to the U.S. Senate finally after being elected for the first time in April, but due to time, because last week's episode was really long, so thank you to everybody who's listening to that, but it all needed to be said. So I'm going to go ahead and just play some of the parts of their lovely speeches together. So this is John Fetterman. He's the current sitting, or one of the current sitting senators from Pennsylvania, and here he is introducing President Joe Biden.
And now I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here, and
Wait, hold on. He's standing next to. So he's, for him, the president is on his right, is our left. As you're looking at this is a video here, and I've posted, I think, a lot of this on my social media. But I think that's hilarious that he is right to his right is Joe Biden. He is definitely a collapsed bridge.
Here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation to make sure that we get this fixed quick, fast as well too. This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the jewel
the jewels
law of the inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across America getting rebuilt.
Wow. Well, there you go. There's that lovely introduction. He also introduced a congressman too. So let's have him. Let's listen to this too.
It's a pleasure to be here and to introduce my friend, Congressman Boyle Bile.
Boyle Bile. That's the name he says. Boyle Bile. And two people are clapping.
Well, thank you. I'm Congressman Brendan Boyle.
It's a pleasure to be.
So his name isn't Boyle Bile. His name really is what did he say his name?
Introduce my friend, Congressman Boyle Bile.
Boyle Bile. There you go. How would you like that name? Boyle is your first name.
Well, thank you.
This Brendan Boyle is his actual name. His name's Brendan, not Boyle. That is not his first name. So those two are quite the team. Quite the team here. And so that was lovely. They were talking about this. And this is also Fetterman talking about the I-95. He was given some time. He actually is in a suit this time. He's not in a Carhartt hoodie and basketball shorts. So here we go.
The tragic accident on I-95. And if you want to make any comments with respect to that, feel free to recognize. Would just really like to, the 95, 95.
Yeah.
The tragic.
So, I mean, come on, guys. This is what we have as our leaders, is him and Joe Biden, who has no idea what's going on in the world. He's clueless out of his freaking mind, but this is who we got. This is who we have in as president and as a sitting senator. So that's great. Isn't that great? That's awesome. So God save the Queen, man. Oh, and you know what? I almost forgot. Today is Wednesday. Wednesday, June 21st. So I'd like to wish everybody a happy Juneteenth on Monday. That wonderful federal holiday that everybody knew about. Everybody's grown up with Juneteenth as a holiday. So hopefully you had your Juneteenth decorations up. I know we did. It was painful to take them down, but glad we were able to celebrate that wonderful holiday that nobody had a clue about until about 3 years ago during the BLM and Antifa riots. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, no, they weren't riots. Sorry, that was wrong. They weren't riots. No, they were not riots. They were peaceful, mostly peaceful protests, right? So just some lovely celebration scenes from the United States here and celebrating Juneteenth. We're in Chicago. They know how to celebrate Juneteenth, right? Mostly liberal Democrat city there. They know how to celebrate this wonderful holiday. But this is what happened really over it's audio. I'll play some of the audio of this there in Chicago over the weekend. Sounds like celebrations, doesn't it? They were excited. Oh, there's a fire truck. That can't be good. Oh, yeah. So there's people on the road. There are cops there because shots were fired. People are honking their horns. Fire trucks are trying to get through. So what had happened is that there were shots fired in this wonderful Juneteenth celebration. The cops responded, and then the mob of these these people here, they decided to go after the cops and attack the cops. There's people picking up 2x4s. It's going to go, what are you going to do, hit a cop with a 2x4? I mean, it's just idiotic. We celebrate idiocracy here in the United States of America. I mean, if you're going to celebrate something like that, you know, it should have been ingrained a long time ago into us. We should have celebrated the Emancipation Proclamation. But no, we celebrate Juneteenth here is the celebration when finally the U.S. military came down here to Texas, to Galveston, and said, hey, you know, the slaves, after 2 years, telling the slaves, Democrat-owned slaves, that, hey, you're free. You don't have to do this anymore. So that's what we celebrate, is them coming down here to Texas to free the slaves. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're celebrating. So hopefully you had a wonderful Juneteenth, and yeah, that's great. It's so awful. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to say about that. So I don't have like a good feel good video here at the end. I guess the good thing is that there are people that are celebrating the Lord and celebrating Jesus in the streets, and it's not just, not just a bunch of old white people celebrating it. It's people of every color all across the globe. But one thing, actually, I would recommend, if you can watch something that me and my wife have been watching now for quite a while, is The Chosen. It's a great, wonderful, I don't know what they call it, but it's a series. It's not really, I don't know if you call it like a docu-series or whatever, but it's a series about the life of Jesus, and it's not like Jesus as he is, because most of those videos, Jesus, he's portrayed as, this loving guy, and you're like, oh yes, absolutely, it makes it, it feels great and everything. But with this series, it is shameless plug here, The Chosen, but it is just an amazing series. He's really personable. You really feel like you can know him more than just as this sort of albatross sort of space figure guy. I don't know if, hopefully that makes sense, but just an amazing series about the life of Jesus, him picking his apostles and going around doing miracles. And I mean, he plays with children. He makes funny noises with the children in one of the episodes. It's really, really done very, very well. So I would recommend going and watching The Chosen if you have nothing better to do on Sundays. We do that if we're sick and we can't go to church on Sundays. We watch an episode or two of that, and it was just great. It's just a wonderful, wonderful show. So I'd highly, highly recommend it. But thank you so much for listening. Again, thank you to everybody in the cities across the world, because we are now international. I really would like to, again, just thank you so much to everybody that listens. And again, you can follow me on Facebook at The Caden Eric Show, and Twitter and Truth Social at Caden Eric Show without the. So Caden Eric Show on Twitter and Truth Social. And always, my brother, he does great clothing at ifiwereahobo.com. So just go on there, check that out. Just amazing things, amazing art, just amazing clothes. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed episode 10. We are on episode 10. There are 10 of these things now. I don't know, it's just funny to do this. It's funny to put all this together and talk and get my frustrations out, because we can't take it, precious. We can't take it, and I lose my mind. So, but there are some good. There is some good out there in the world, even though there's a lot of nonsense and craziness. And of course, the fake news media will portray everything that is good as evil and everything that is evil as good. So, with that, we are in a fight. The line is drawn in the sand, and it is time to rise up. So with that, hopefully you have a good week, and we will talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.